Yo, what's up YouTube? I'm here on the PTR on my Venthyr character to address a lot of the questions in my Twitch chat about why I am Venthyr on live servers and why I'm gonna play Venthyr in the raid in 9.1, and then also about why I've been telling people to go Night Fae even though I'm going Venthyr. So the simple answer is, oh, all of a sudden there are a lot of mages here. The simple answer is that Venthyr sims better, which means that it just does more damage on paper than Night Fae. The reason for this is because of the new legendary, the Venthyr specific legendary, Sinful Hysteria. This makes Venthyr pretty fucking good. And then on top of that, Bounce of All Things, the main legendary for Night Fae, got nerfed. So you have a bit less pump, a bit less crit for your Convoke when you CA Convoke, which was a bit of a nerf for Night Fae. So we top players, top Moonkins and top guilds are going Venthyr because it sims better. It does more damage, but mobility and survivability on Venthyr is worse than Night Fae. And I wouldn't say that for a casual or semi-hardcore player, the small damage gain is not worth the risk of being less tanky and having less mobility. It's just way easier. Like Venthyr, you also need to min-max a shit ton to actually make it do the damage that it does on paper. Like if you fuck something up in your rotation, you're just gonna lose a lot of damage. Whereas with Night Fae, it's a lot more straightforward. You press CA, you press Convoke, and then you just Wrath and Star Search spam the rest of your CA. It's very easy. But then Venthyr is a lot more complicated. There's a lot more you need to min-max while progressing a boss. It can be very overwhelming for most players. But of course, if you feel like you're 100% confident in your individual skill, then feel free to go Venthyr. But I do recommend people that prefers a safer playstyle, dying less on progress. I recommend Night Fae. Alright, so let's go through stats, legendary, conduits, everything you need to know about Venthyr. You want to be playing this legendary. It's a new legendary 9.1 called Sinful Hysteria. I have it on my gloves at the moment, and I'm also, for some reason, I have crit and mastery. I'm probably gonna do haste mastery once I craft it on live servers, and I'm gonna be crafting it on hands. I'm gonna be crafting it on waist. Because in 9.1, for leather users, you're gonna have your domination piece on your hands. Headpiece, chest, shoulders, hands, and boots, I think. And domination pieces are pretty insane, because you get this socket, you get some different sockets that are just really OP that you want to use for the raid. Gives you some pretty insane set bonuses and stuff like that. Basically tier sets, but more boring. So you want to craft your legendary Sinful Hysteria on your waist. So what this legendary does is that first let's go through Ravenous Frenzy. You press it, and for 20 seconds you get this buff, and then with every spell you use, you gain 2% damage and healing and 1% haste, stacking. So you want to get as many stacks in these 20 seconds as possible, and then and then at the end, let's say you end at like 30 stacks or something, then Sinful Hysteria, it keeps those stacks at the end, those 30 stacks for an extra 5 seconds. And in those 5 seconds, like, in those 5 seconds right here, where you have those insane stacks, is where you want to just pump out max damage. And then, let's see, stats. Stats are pretty much just mastery and haste. And then crit and verse are going to be your worst stats. So it's almost the same as with Night Fae in 9.0.5, except you just drop some more verse. Pretty simple. Conduits. You want to be running Nagia Soulbind. This one. Nagia the Mistblade. Because Thrill Seeker is really good. At 40 stacks, you get Euphoria, which is a 20% haste buff. And then after Euphoria drops, you get Fatal Flaw as well, which either increases your crit or verse by 20%, apparently, for 10 seconds. You want to be running triple potency, and you want Endless Thirst. This conduit is very insane. I have it in higher item level on live servers already. This is basically the best conduit as Venthyr. It's way better than the other ones. And then Fear of the Skies. It's the second potency conduit you want to run, and Precise Alignment to extend your Incarn even further. The talents you want to be running for single target are these in the raid, and for any other single target content. I don't know what that would be, but this is what you want to run in raid for single target fights. Stellar Flare, and you actually want to run Fury of Elune because even though you don't expect this to be a single target talent, it gives you the most burst towards the end of your stacks. You basically want to pool all of your damage into your Sinful Hysteria stacks. Alright, before getting into the rotation, I forgot to mention that the two trinkets you want to be using, ideally, when you're Venthyr, is going to be Quantum Ice and Divine Bell. So you're going to be using 2 unused trinkets. So hopefully you have some free keybinds ready, because with this spec we're going to be using a lot of extra keybinds. Stellar Flare and Fury of Elune and 2 unused trinkets. And then you also... I was going to say you also want to have a keybind for your racial, but you can actually just macro this into your Incarn and not think too much about it in order to save some brain power with that. This is what I've done for now. Alright, so you wanna target your target. Pretty straightforward. Max range. Whenever possible, you want to max range, because your Wrath has travel distance. And then you want to do the normal opener. You do Wrath, Wrath, Starfire into dots. You get your dots up, and you pop your cooldowns. And then you just want to Wrath until you overcap, until you're just about to overcap, and you throw a Star Surge right before you overcap. Keep your dots up, and then we're gonna Bell and Fury of Elune at the same time here, and and now I send all my Star Surges, as much damage as possible, right there. And this this Venthyr spec is actually quite RNG, because you want to land crits. You want to land as many crits as possible when you have your full damage stacks. And I think I got some bad RNG here. Actually, it wasn't that bad now that I look at it. I got a pretty big crit, 29k Star Surge. But yeah, the rotation outside of CA is outside of Incarn, I mean, is very sleeper. You don't even have your Bounce of All Things legendary, so you want to just cycle through your eclipses like this. You get Fear of Loon back, you use it, you keep your dots up. Very straightforward. Once Bell comes up, you want to use it instantly again, and because it's a 1 minute 30 cooldown, so if you use it instantly, then it's gonna be up for your 3 minute cooldowns again. Pretty clean. But yeah, this is the rotation. You drop a lot of damage outside your cooldowns. Like, this is basically Fire Mage, but on a 3 minute cooldown. So it feels very stale when you're not in cooldowns. You don't even have your Balance of All Things to get some Star Surge crits outside of cooldowns. So this is another reason why Venthyr might potentially be worse than it actually, like on paper it looks very good, but in reality there are times when you can get cucked in your cooldowns. You can get stopped by a mechanic, you can maybe get outranged on the boss, something weird happens, and your cooldowns, your Ravenous Frenzy drops, let's say. Like, if you spend 2 seconds idle, you get stunned and you just lose your stacks. And then you're just fucked the rest of the fight. Like, all your cooldowns are just, I mean, all your damage is in your cooldowns, so if you get stopped, you're done. But Convoke is way safer. You just send your Convoke, and you don't have to think too much, which is why I think Night Fae is definitely the best option for most players that aren't going for complete min-max, max damage playstyle like we top players have to do. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I need to get back to the YouTube grind. Still very rusty, as you can probably see. It's kind of weird not having a Twitch chat to talk to. But I'll try to be uploading some more content before the raid comes out. Then I'm gonna be a bit busy. But I want to help you guys as much as possible. But thank you guys for watching for now, and I'll see you in the next video.